Hey guys, per usual, everything on this channel is for educational purposes only and is not intended as financial advice. So Bitcoin broke the local top. Most importantly, there was a low time frame head and shoulders that did not break down here. The volume has yet to break out as well. So as good as this looks now, I think it's got much more in it. RSI certainly gives it lots of room. It's not even to overbought territory yet, and Stoke is the same, just middle of the road. If we pop on some fibs, levels, and harmonic, we can see again the zone in here is any harmonic target, 50% to 61%. And if it breaks the local high here, it should try to reach even higher, 1172, and it's echoed by the cloud, which would be at that point a Kumo breakout. And again, I'm waiting for the green cloud before I take anything with size, because this could just keep ranging. What you often see is either a Kumo breakout, barely, or just to this level, which would even be better because then it would just match here. And it could still build the inverted head and shoulders. It's yet to come back down. It may not come down that far. It may come down to 1110, 995, something like that. So I could see, I could see this and then down, shoulder, and then this, and then it goes, something like that. So I'm not in a position right now, but if you're long, you're fine. Again, the target would have been here. I just didn't want to hold through the head and shoulders the other day with the exchange fees and the amount of trades that have been breaking even for me lately. I'd rather just close it when I was up, not something I do normally. And if you don't like or understand the cloud, that's fine. Check out EMAs here, which are just the 5200, and similar to last time, this was an inverted head and shoulders, and you can look at my Twitter, we were talking about it. Target got hit a few days later. Same thing here, inverted head and shoulders, 5200 cross, recross is the long signal. I don't know. I mean, it's not hard to see this for me, but it's harder for me to execute when I need to. That's my weakness. So if you can't see this, you can definitely get there because it's not that difficult. At least I don't think it's that difficult. And just to reiterate the point, the inverted head and shoulders, this is on the daily, so this breaks the rules totally of this series, but posted this on Bitcoin Magazine. There were divs all over this. The pattern fractal was there. So the time course was April 12th, 10 days from now. Sounds about right. 1353 is the target. Again, none of this has changed since you initially see it. Once you see it, you wait for it. If it builds, if it happens, then that's your target. And again, you can see this as soon as the second bottom forms. What's not on here is volume, but the point is something's there, clearly. And you can even see on this head and shoulders, the right shoulder was not nearly as low on the horizontal as the previous. So, this did not come all the way down to here. It looks about the same. I still think it could go down to 1010. That's where my bids are. Otherwise, you're long on the Kumo breakout. And then lastly, for Bitcoin, something to watch for is the Stoke cross. So bullish, go long. You can see it was 2 or 3 candles ahead of time. It was above the threshold. Again, I don't know the rules for Stoke. I'm just correlating things here. It's above the threshold. It's a bullish cross. Close it when you see the next cross above the threshold. And now what you might be waiting for would be a bullish cross, blue over red in this case. And then you just ride that sucker all the way up to here. Moving to ETH BTC, you can see it's had some droop action here. Some unnecessarily bearishness going on. No, I think it's fine. It was as predicted as I pop on the cloud here in a second, but you can see the volume is up from previous consolidation periods. This, to me anyway, says it's done for now. You can even, again, predict shoulder, head, shoulder. So watch for that as well. Neckline being somewhere around here. The target being somewhere around here. Not really much else to say. Let's look at 5200. You can see a bounce on the 200. That's always a good sign. As far as continuation is concerned, if we look at cloud, you can see it bounced almost perfectly on the flat Kumo. Again, edge-to-edge trade. Your condition for entry for a short would be here. Your stop would have been above the Kijun, something like that, or above the cloud, depending on what you want to do. And again, it might just look like I'm saying this now, but if you see this over and over and over again, you'll start to recognize it and take advantage of it. So your short could have been, you know, anywhere from here, and this is always the target. End of story. And again, Stoke crossed bearish there. So if you're not already closed in the short, you'd be waiting for Stoke recross here. You'd be waiting for RSI to give you a div of some kind here. So a lower low in price and not a lower RSI, but you should have already been out just based on the edge-to-edge trade here, in my opinion. I wasn't in the trade, so whatever. And anything with size, as far as a short's concerned, I would be looking for the opposite of what I'd be looking for Bitcoin, which would be a bullish cloud, in this case a bearish cloud. TK is already crossed, lagging span's already below price, headed below cloud quickly here. If we look at Heikin-Ashi, you can see there was 4 candles here before the big move. And again, if you want to couple that with your cloud edge-to-edge trade, that's money as well, depending on what you want to look for or how you want to look at it. If we pop on fibs and the like, let's go back to candles here, turn off cloud for a second. You can see that my target initially on the long, which was stopped out, was way up here. And this is a great reason to use stops, okay? Even though this, you know, may have been some sort of falling wedge channel situation, the cloud made me think otherwise, that it was done. It hit the 618, it hit the 764, whatever. Point being, I think ETH is sideways for the moment, for the indefinite future, until something happens in the cloud. Similar to Dash a few days ago, when I said there's no trade until it moves above or below the cloud. Same thing here. Again, this is the same thing every single time, so that's why I can just roll this off without thinking about it too hard. So ETH USD is pretty interesting because it hasn't had as large of a move yet. So I don't really know how that works. I don't have enough experience with alt USD pairs to really know what should happen from here. I believe it should keep going, and the number one reason that tells me that is the cloud. So you can see the TK lines crossed here. So would you have been long? Could you have been long? Blah, blah, blah. If you were long from here, you should have been closed on this candle. That's what the cloud is telling you anyway. The other thing the cloud is telling you is that, again, this is an active edge-to-edge trade. As soon as this closes in 2.5 hours, that's a valid short entry position. Target being other edge of the cloud, 35, something like that, 32 to 35. If we look at our rising wedge, you can see it's pretty convincingly broken out of that, although you could, no, that doesn't make any sense. Maybe. I don't know. I still like this zone down here. If we look at the 200, anywhere between 39 and 28, I think is very possible here as far as a short entry on leverage. RSI and Stoke don't really tell me much, but again, bearish cross here on Stoke, so that even led the TK cross here. Convincingly broke down from the 50 EMA. Like I said the other day, you're looking for a touch of the 200. Again, that's 37, 38, somewhere in there. So this is Dash, and first time seeing this today, so this is pretty interesting. I need to figure out how to take these trades somewhere on Polo, I guess, on my leverage or something. But anyway, yesterday I was talking about bear flag here. A few days ago I was talking about bear flag here. So nothing new or surprising. This keeps breaking down. When you see this just dripping blood over 4 hour candle, it certainly doesn't scream bullish continuation. What you're looking for on a bottom is this giant wick like here. So the bottom is likely in for the very short term. So let's just look at what cloud and everything else tells me. Something else interesting going on here is there's a possible bull div. You can see a definite lower low in price and a higher RSI. So it tells you this is going down on less bearish momentum. That coupled with this candle, which is like a dragonfly type candle, anything with a long wick is usually a reversal. And it's got nice exhaustion volume as well, and it hit horizontal levels. So everything about this zone looks good just naked. So let's turn on some stuff. So yesterday I was saying bear flag, cloud's telling you this is oversold on this time frame because of this TK disequilibrium. And the TK disequilibrium is even larger now. So it's probably sufficiently, let's just measure it here. So it was 20%, now it's 26%. So, you know, should this go sideways, that'd be a great long. What did I say, 0.28 or something? Let me turn on the harmonic. Okay, there was this. I was talking about any triangle point being support. Volume broke out. This obviously didn't happen. This harmonic, you would have been stopped out. Again, I think I mentioned 272 as a stop if you were long. So I was on the fence yesterday about bearish continuation. So, you know, I wouldn't have been right or wrong really, but yeah, it went down. Not much else to say about that. If we look at Icon here, let's turn everything else off. I mean, just the bear flag doing its thing. Not much else to say. Could just be that everybody's moving into Litecoin, Ripple, and Doge. I don't know. That's really all I have for today on these at this time frame. As usual, like, dislike, comment, share, subscribe. Hit me up on Twitter, Telegram, and happy trading.